KOSA Secretary of the Department of Health, friends from the transport sector, especially our Yusek Ramon Reyes from the Department of Transportation, Ms. Beverly Sabella from LTO, fellow road safety advocates in government, in the private sector, academia and civil society. Ladies and gentlemen, magandang umaga sa ating lahat. I want to start by thanking all of us and congratulating all of us for showing up here today on a Saturday. Yung mga public servants, yung mga taga-private sector, civil society, we all showed up early today because we care about road safety. We know it is a project or a topic that is so important, but I think we are also aware it is also an issue where the results are disappointing. Binanggit na ni Ms. Beverly about yung Philippine Road Safety Action Plans. Yun ang mga 5-year plans yun. And we have gone through several cycles already of yung Philippine Road Safety Action Plans. At ang dami nating mga meetings, mga events, conferences, forums to talk about road safety. At marami na rin mga commitment from all levels of government, past administration, the current administration. Today, we all know our roads remain treacherous. Our roads remain dangerous, especially for yung mga vulnerable road users. People who are walking, people who are on bicycles, people who are on motorcycles, people who are users of public transport. And the record speaks for itself. So ito yung record. In 2023, there were 13,125 road deaths recorded in the Philippines. What is very meaningful is that this was a 7.2% increase in the road deaths from the previous year, 2022. So what does this tell us? Instead of going forward, we are actually going backward. There were more people killed on our roads in 2023 than in 2022. In much of what we do, and including what we are doing today, we are focusing on the road user. Lahat tayo road users. And we are focusing on responsible road use. At tama ito, we need to devote resources to influence and correct road user behavior. Pero alam natin na this is not sufficient. This is far from sufficient. The measures that focus on road user behavior are important and necessary, but they will be ineffective. They will be ineffective as long as our roads are fundamentally unsafe for the vulnerable road users. And if public transport, walking and cycling are unattractive and difficult, we will not be able to improve our road safety record. So, what does this mean? Ano yung mensahe ko ngayon? We need to place as much of the onus on the agencies who design and manage our roads. Hindi lang yung road user. Importante rin yung responsibility ng ahensya na nag-design ng mga kalsada natin at yung mga traffic managers natin. If the objective of our road agencies continues to be to maximize speed of motor vehicles, at ito yung isa sa mga objectives ng MMDA at DPWH, yung pagpapabilis ng mga vehicles on our roads. We will continue to experience dangerous and treacherous roads for vulnerable road users. So, if you ask me today, what is the single thing we can do to make a dramatic change in our road safety environment? What measure could we introduce that could potentially save more than 5,000 lives annually? It may not be a popular measure for people in this audience, pero if I could choose one action that would make a huge difference, it would be to lower yung speed limits natin in urban areas to 30 kilometers per hour. Yun, in urban areas. This is already the top road safety prescription globally. Lahat ng mga road safety agencies sa mundo natin, yung mga UN, WHO, ito yung #1 prescription. Gawin nilang 30 kilometers per hour ang speed limit sa urban areas. Where people walk, where people live, where people play, the speed limit should not exceed 30 kilometers per hour. And this should be the norm for entire cities, towns, and villages. Si Marlon Balbuena, who just spoke earlier, binanggit rin niya yung dapat na speed limits. May I noticed your slide. And this is from RA 4136, the Transportation and Traffic Code. May isang provision sa National Transportation and Traffic Code. Pag crowded yung street, kailangan 20 kilometers per hour lamang ang speed limit. That is already in our laws, but we never see it implemented. We never see it implemented. Why is this the case? That such an important feature is not implemented. Ano yung definition natin ng crowded street? Ito yung kalsada na may eskwela, may mall, may market, may government office, may hospital, may clinic, you know? And dapat yung definition ng regulation within a 500-meter radius of that facility where people congregate, yung eskwela, clinic, mall, palengke, opisina, the speed limit should only be 20 kilometers per hour. Today, Paris and Brussels already have a speed limit of 30 kilometers per hour citywide. And this is also recently introduced in Amsterdam. And for the entire country of Greece, they will be introducing a 30-kilometer urban area speed limit. Why are these places adopting lower speed limits? It is because studies have found that the imposition of lower speed limits reduce traffic fatalities by 37 to 40%. And these are the lives of people on motorcycles, on foot, and on bicycles. The studies also found that despite the lower speed limit, there was no impact on the travel speed of motorists. Yung mga nagkokotse, nagmomotor, walang impact ito sa travel speed nila. This is because the travel speed, the average travel speed in urban areas seldom reaches 30 kilometers per hour during the day anyway. And the only time vehicles travel fast on urban roads is normally at night, when there are very few vehicles on the road. Pero, ito nga, it is nighttime precisely when a lower speed limit will save many lives and when it is most needed. So, ano yung naging impact on traffic sa mga urban areas na nag-adapt ng 30 km speed limit? After 2 years, they found that traffic actually improved. Why? Because slower, safer traffic encouraged more people to walk, to cycle, and to use public transport. And maraming nag-shift. Imbis na nagmaneho sila ng kotse or ng motor, gumamit na lang sila ng public transport o bisikleta o naglakad na lang sila. And this reduced yung level of road congestion generally. Isa pang importanteng benepisyo, lower speed limits will enable our roads to be more accessible for persons with disability. Today, kasama ko si Mr. Abner Manlapas and Ms. Almarie Camson. Pareho silang miyembro ng Move as One Coalition, but they are also with the Life Haven Center for Independent Living, and they are also spokespersons for persons with disability. Today, many of our streets are totally dangerous for persons with disability. Alam natin to. Walang sidewalk, walang mga rampa, walang mga tactile paving. So many of our streets are inaccessible for persons with disability. Pero if we brought down yung speed limit to 30 kilometers per hour or less, we will make our urban areas accessible for persons with disability. And one thing for sure, lahat tayo dito, at some point or another in our lives, we will also have physical incapacity. We will also be a person with disability. We need to create a city that is accessible and safe for all of us. So, in short, today, all Philippine cities and towns, napaka-traffic na at walang accessibility for persons with disability. All of our cities will benefit from a 30 km per hour speed limit, and for very little cost, we would have happier, healthier, more productive Filipinos with less noise, less traffic, less pollution in our cities, and not to mention the potential of reducing our traffic fatalities by 40%. Anong ibig sabihin nito? We will save more than 5,000 lives annually. So please support a 30km/h speed limit on all urban roads in the Philippines. Maraming salamat at magandang umaga sa ating lahat.
Thank you, Mr. Robert C.